Thank you all so much for joining MasterCard this evening. My name's Colleen Galvin. I'm on the North American Small Business team, and I'm joined by colleagues here tonight, Alan Lacroix, who's going to be helping to keep our webinar going and try to keep this as interactive as possible, because we do have a large number of folks attending, not surprisingly. The reason MasterCard has this education series, which is part of our Digital Doors program, it's always important for us to acknowledge, you all are busy small businesses, and we want to make sure your time is well spent. And we feel a real responsibility to make sure that you have all the tools you need to thrive both online in your communities, because we know you are the job creators and creating wealth for yourselves, your employees, your families. So we feel, we are, as MasterCard, are at the intersection of this digital innovation, and feel like if you are equipped with all the tools and information you can possibly have to succeed, then when you do well, we do well. So again, thank you for joining. You all have heard an awful lot about artificial intelligence. It's in the news all the time. And fortunately, we have partners in our colleague in MasterCard's Global Marketing, Michelle McCrae-Howard, as well as our speaker tonight, Abran Maldonado, who's the founder of Create Labs. So tonight's session is really meant to be about cutting through what is most useful to you. How do we understand what artificial intelligence is, cut through the buzz, cut through, what are the most valuable tools to help you operate your business more smoothly? Maybe it's tools for digital marketing, maybe it's tools for customer service, and give you some really practical takeaways. As I said, we're going to try and keep this interactive. We'd love to hear from you in the chat. I hope you can hear. I see Ja is having some audio trouble. Hi, Lydia. Thank you for saying hello. We'd love to hear where you're from, what part of the country, the name of your business, share that. And we will also try and monitor questions in real time, but we'll make time for Q&A after as well. So I'm very pleased to introduce Abran Maldonado, who is the founder of Create Labs, a startup that's really disrupting generative AI and digital human space. Abran is an internationally recognized AI thought leader. And we're so fortunate that our colleague, Michelle McCrae-Howard, who's a director in our global digital marketing team with many years of experience, both here at MasterCard, but in retail leadership, connected with Abran and brought us together to create some really interesting, valuable tools for small businesses that you're going to hear about from Michelle later in the presentation. So with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Abran to share his knowledge. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Colleen. Really appreciate it. Hope I can be helpful to everyone here. I will try and monitor and open the Q&A and chat for everyone. Shout yourselves out. Please do let me know who's in the room, businesses, location would really be helpful. And also just your basic understanding of ChatGPT and just AI tools, what you've dabbled with so far. I don't know if there's a way to make a poll of that in the room, but I'm not going to try and double task. I'll manage the presentation. Y'all can talk about that in the chat.
Shoot, next time, if we had known, we could have put a poll together. Sorry about that. That's a great idea.
Good. Well, I want to take us on an interactive journey of some of the tools that you might be familiar with, that you might not be. Hopefully, everyone can gain something from these sessions. I will show you some of the tools that I rely on as a small business and some of the ones that I recommend to others. And we'll do some live prompting as well. And hopefully we can learn a bit and have you input what we want to use in these AIs, and hopefully you can see the real time, magic with everything. So, but, as I labeled this presentation, the future of AI productivity is going to impact you, whether you're, professional, a student, or a small business. I believe it was Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, that said that this generation is going to see the first solopreneur become a billionaire. And that speaks volumes because that means that you don't need an organization of 1,000+ employees to get to that milestone anymore because of AI. But it's only possible if we leverage these tools and if we're not afraid of adoption when it comes to these tools. So everyone see my screen? Colleen, you see it?
Yep, looks good.
Okay, great. So, as Colleen said, generative AI is our core business model at the moment. We started as a, Black and Brown founded social impact organization. We really just wanted to get more people into the tech space just so we can, see more of our people get that bag, and get out there and see the industries that were forward facing and leading the charge, and wanted to make sure that we were all taking a part of that. We were nominated this past year by VentureBeat. It was a great honor as one of the most promising generative AI startups. So we knew we were on the right track. Our services kind of vary. We build our own products, but we also take advantage of all the amazing things you could do with these tools and offer those services to clients and say, hey, if you've seen something in the news or on social media with leveraging generative AI and you wanted to use those tools yourself or work a new product into your business, then we're your team. We're the ones that you can reach out to. So we support everything from enterprise all the way down to startups. A lot of startups come to us and say, hey, I want this AI feature added to our business flow to make us more efficient and to have a cutting edge feature. Sometimes people would raise money on something that we built them, which is always fun to see. It's always fun to see a business grow off of something that we did for them. One of those products that Michelle will talk about later is the small business AI product. It's a product that we're building for MasterCard at the moment, and I won't steal Michelle's thunder. She can talk about that when I'm done here. But let's talk about the skills. Let's talk about what you need to establish for yourself as a solopreneur or as a small business owner, and the things that are going to make you more productive. And this is a snapshot of all the tools that I'm going to talk through. I might even touch on a few more. I even have an AI agent. If any of you have ever heard of that word, I have an AI agent ready to go that we can try out together. But, at first, it all starts with prompt engineering. It's the new literacy skill. It's the new skill in general. This Mexican Spider-Man that you see here on the left was created by simply writing this prompt on the right. Now, do you see any code? Do you see any JavaScript? Do you see any Python? You don't. All you see is plain text. So the new magic is the old magic. The new magic is simply how good are you with words in communicating your idea to bring it to life. The AI tool is just a machine that brings that vision to life, but you still need to have that vision. You still need to have the creativity in your prompt and the way that you articulate and detail all the aesthetics and the visual aspects of what you want to see come to life, or in a workflow from a project management standpoint, or in a product. But it all starts with the text prompt. Even with the recent tools now that, the AI can prompt for you, it still relies on how well you can convey that idea to the AI for it to take it to the next level. I'm a creative. I love seeing creative things. I love seeing creative outputs of representation of things that I don't want to wait on Hollywood to think of as a priority. I just create it myself. So now that I have this skill, now I can create, the visuals that I want to see into the world, the comic books that I want to see in the world, the imagery and sci-fi and representative sci-fi, Black and Brown sci-fi, in a way that I think matters most to me and to my children, and giving them that same tool to say, hey, you have an imagination. All you need to do now is communicate that through the machine, and you can get some really interesting stuff. But it all starts with ChatGPT, for me, at least. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you through a few steps of what I've done for other clients. But this is an interesting one, because what I did here was in an earlier session with an organization, a great organization called Black Girl Ventures, that I met through Hello Alice and MasterCard. I said, all right, I'm going to upload your link and I'm going to capture your vision, and then I'm going to do some work with that. So I'm going to hop around to a different link. Can everyone see my ChatGPT? All right. Want to make sure.
Yes.
All right. Okay. I'll make it bigger. No problem. So, first person to throw into the chat, give me your business link, your website, your URL. Throw it into the chat. I'll grab it from there, and then I'll throw it into my chat GPT, and then we'll work some magic. Perfect. Quick with it. Futuristic herbs. Sorry, I'm from New York. We call them herbs. Boom. We can do this a couple times, so keep them coming. First thing I'm going to do is, oh, that didn't post. Oh, can I not copy from the chat? Or I could write it. Futuristicherbs.com. Okay. Now, I'm simply, as you see, starting by just entering the URL. And it's searching the web, and it's going to write me a summary of futuristicherbs.com. Boom. Futuristic Herbs is dedicated to promoting natural healing through earth-derived products. Their offerings include cold-pressed juices, juice cleanses, herbs, water distillates, and sea moss. Nice. I love it. Popular items feature the Braxton Sunrise juice. Okay. Let's do it for another one. Lydia, let's see if it finds your consulting group. Lydia Barron Consulting Group.com. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so now as a small business, we have a ChatGPT that now knows our business. So you see it's storing this in its memory. So anything we do after this, we can leverage its understanding of futuristic herbs. So, okay, now write me a script for an ad promoting futuristic herbs. Let's see how that does. Boom. All right, so now we got our scripts. So now we're going to grab it. We're going to grab the voiceover. And then we're going to go over and get a spokesperson for this business. So I did this earlier today, actually, for Rocket Mortgage. If you guys are familiar with Rocket Mortgage, they reached out and said, hey, we would like a spokesperson for our new campaign to appeal to Latina homeowners, because apparently Latina homeowners is the most fastest rising bracket of homeowners in the market right now. So they gave me a script and I introduced them to Raquel.
Hola, Jonathan. Hola, Jonathan, Casey, and the whole Rocket familia. Me llama Raquel. I am Rocket's new AI ambassador here to support our realtors and Latino homebuyers as they navigate the home buying process.
So we could do the same thing for futuristic herbs. So we're going to go. So now I'm on HeyGen. Now I'm on a completely different platform. And I'm going to take that script and I'm going to come here and I'm going to select an avatar. And let's see, let's go with, and you see the different environments, right? So we have Milena, who can be on a couch. She could be at a desk. But what I really want is for Milena to be in a shop or in the actual shop of futuristic herbs. If there's a storefront, that's even better. Because then, you know, you could have your team shoot something as long as maybe a minute, 2 minutes in the shop, just to stage the environment, and then bring that shot into here and turn it into an avatar to write that script. So, but you know what? Since we're talking about herbs, let's see if we have anybody that's outside, that's around some greenery. All right, we have, you know, Blanca there. We have Amelia. Amelia is meditating. That kind of goes on brand, right? And I see some healthy food in a picnic. Okay, let's go with this one. So we're going to go with portrait because we want to put this on TikTok. Boom. So now we have Amelia, and we're going to go to our scripts, and we're going to put our scripts, our voiceover scripts, Now I'm just going to delete all this like cut to visuals. I just want the actual dialogue. So I'm going to delete all that, but it's giving you instruction on like what visuals to add along with it. So take that out. And now we select the voice. So do we like clarity, Catherine?
Hello, this is what I sound like. Hope you like it.
Sure. Oh, well, formal Fiona. No, reliable Nora.
Hello, this is what I sound like. Hope you like it.
Hello, this is what I sound like.
So we're going to go with, we're going to pick a female, conversational.
Hello, this is how I sound like.
Perfect. All right. So then now, wait, did I get Nova? Come on, give me Nova. Boom, Nova. All right. And then we're going to process.
Looking to fuel your body naturally? At Futuristic Herbs, we believe in the power of nature to help you look and feel your best.
Sounds good to me. And we hit submit. So FH add and then submit. And now it's processing. So we're going to see the FH ad show up. So just like, on the talk show, we cooking live. So we're going to let this cook for maybe like a minute or two, and then we're going to come back to it. So, all right, now we did that for Futuristic Herbs. So now we're going to come back here. We're going to come back to the chat. All right. So now we have dubvalue.com. All right. So this time I'm going to go to Perplexity. Perplexity is more reliable for like research rather than ChatGPT. ChatGPT is great for like ideation. If you want creative ideas, if you want to go back and forth with ChatGPT, you could definitely do that. But Dub Value. Oh, two B's. Okay. Excuse me. Dubvalue.com. Can you find me competitors and a target market for dubvalue.com? Let's say you're writing a business plan. Let's say you're really trying to attack the market and you want to see who else is in your lane. Let's go here. Let's see what we can come up with. So now Perplexity is doing the research for you, right? Instead of you doing Google searching, there's no more Google searching because now it's doing it for you. And it's already searched through, several links. These are all the links. And boom, here we go. Based on the search results, I can provide information about Dub Value's creation competitors and target market. While we search results don't provide direct competitors for Dub Value creation, we can infer some potential competitors based on company services and focus. Okay, so boutique M&A advisory firms, management consulting firms, larger companies in that space. Target market right here. Now, what's cool with this is that it always gives you some follow-up questions that you might not even thought of. What are the key features of SendSpark compared to Dub Value? How does Vidyard support large team collaboration? Like now I'm in your lane, so I don't even know what we're talking about right now. But you see here, everything is cited. So everything here has a citation with the URL to see where it got that source from.
Hey, Ebron, could I interrupt you for 1 sec? Sure. Someone in the chat is asking if there's any way to make the words a little bigger on the screen. I don't know if that's easy for you to do.
Yep. Yep.
And Sonia asked, how do you use these tools if you don't have a business website? I imagine there are other sources of business information you could feed into ChatGPT.
Well, I mean, Small Business 101 is that you should have a website. So if you don't have a website, and your business is through word of mouth or a social media referral, you can always upload your LinkedIn profile. You can always upload just simple text describing your business. Doesn't always have to be research. You could upload here your business lane, right? So if whatever your industry is in, you could search additional research on just that vertical itself. But social media profiles work, LinkedIn profiles work. It doesn't always have to be just the URL.
Thank you.
No problem. So we're going to go back here so we have 60% ready on that ad. But what I've also done for these clients is, okay, we want some imagery, we want some campaign visuals and multimedia to go with our business. So let's take mixedupclothing.com. That's a good one. Can you create some visual marketing ads for mixedupclothing.com? Let's see how well that handles that. Searching the web. Mixedupclothing.com is a children's apparel brand that celebrates multiculturalism by blending fabrics and designs from various cultures. Okay, I love it. So now, while this feels like a search results from the internet, because this is browse enabled, I want to generate some new images or maybe some new clothing ideas. So can you generate some new clothing concepts for this target customer base? Now let's see how well this handles this. And then I'll also ask, give me a Midjourney prompt to do the same thing over there. So here it's giving you concepts in text form, right? So it's saying patchwork hoodie, festival print jumpsuit, kimono inspired open front jacket. Now I want a visual representation. So here it's giving me a visual prompt. So I'm going to grab this visual prompt. And now I'm heading over to Midjourney. So now follow me over to Midjourney. So midjourney.com. I'm going to just throw it in this top bucket up here. And I'm simply just going to hit enter and see what comes up. And while that's cooking, boom, our ad is ready.
Looking to fuel your body naturally? At Futuristic Herbs, we believe in the power of nature to help you look and feel your best. Our cold-pressed juices and herbal teas are crafted from the earth's finest ingredients. Whether you're looking for an immunity boost, a gentle cleanse, or just a refreshing pick-me-up, we've got you covered. Discover the benefits of our sea moss, water distillates, and plant-based products, designed to give you a natural edge in your wellness journey. Ready to embrace natural healing? Visit futuristicherbs.com and start your journey with Futuristic Herbs today. Futuristic Herbs, wellness from the earth for a healthier you.
So now if you are a solopreneur and you don't have time,
Looking to fuel your body,
nor do you have the interest in posting on social media all the time, then it's, worth jumping on here and generating some content creators for your business. If you don't want to do it yourself, if you feel like you don't have the charisma or the want to do it yourself, you can scale and automate your content creation with tools like this with HeyGen. Let's now go. So boom. So now we are back at Midjourney, where we added our concepts from Mixed Up Clothing, and we got all these shots. Now, these are great shots to add to a campaign, to a lookbook, right? If you're trying to appeal to a distributor or to a buyer, you could show them all these shots. And even if you haven't made these prints, if they fall in love with something in a lookbook that you've shown them from concept, then I suggest you go out and make those prints. So sometimes this is great for like ideation, concept, selling, designs to a buyer or just throwing them into an ad for sure.
Hey, Braun.
Yeah.
Once that info is in ChatGPT, if the business owner doesn't want it to be there, is there any way to get it back?
Yeah, there is, but I don't think there. I mean, there's still the misconception of like what ChatGPT is doing with that information. So you basically risk the same when you Google search something, but ChatGPT is not grabbing this prompt based on your business and then saving this paragraph to then surface it to someone else who has a similar business. These are all tokens. It doesn't even read these as words. The AI is reading these as tokens that it generated for correlation to, without getting technical, if you think about AI and the way it works, all of these are numbers behind the scenes, and it's finding relevance patterns between words or between the numbers once it turns it into numbers. So really, anytime you play around with ChatGPT, it's presenting a result for you. But at the end of the day, these are all like almost like grains of sand, right? It's all just tokens and code and numbers to the AI. It's not saving it for you if it's training it back into the system because you haven't turned that off in your security settings. It's just learning better how to form sentences by your user data. The same way that every time you buy a new technology device like a phone or a computer, it's always going to ask you, can we send this data back to Apple to improve its performance? And you usually just click that and say yes, or you click it and say no. So it's learning how to make Siri better. It's learning how to handle SMS messages better. It's learning how to make phone calls better when you're dealing with a smart device. This is no different. It's not taking IP. It's not looking for IP to give to another person who might be in the same IP competing industry.
That's a great distinction. And you also made the point that you can turn on the security feature, whether it keeps it in the LLM or whether it does not. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. They're called default opt-outs. So before I get to showing you what like agents are, that's a whole nother level. So Airtable has been great for me. So if you have a business and you're looking to handle a lot of the project management, everything from a CRM, sales, leads, lead generation, if you product inventory, right? Where's the AI for that, right? Because I don't see any tables in ChatGPT. I don't see any tables in Perplexity. All I see is just a lot of text going back and forth. I see a lot of ideas and research and summaries. But here with Airtable, so I use Airtable for my business, and this is their AI integration called Co-Builder. So if you go to airtable.com/co-builder, this is where we can prompt here as an example, an asset library for an enterprise SaaS company. Cool. But I don't want to hear from this. I want to hear from y'all. So what's a prompt for a tedious process that you maybe built in Excel as a spreadsheet or in Google Sheets that is managing the flow of your business? So give me a prompt that I'll throw into this text box here. And yes, I will recap the tools that I've covered. Okay, newsletters, that's a good one, but like let's manage pivot table to summarize data, creating policies and procedures, managing a grant process, press releases. Colleen, why don't you pick one if there's one that stands out to you from this group?
Oh, press releases are always a favorite topic at MasterCard.
Yes, but press releases is still more text. So maybe we can do one that's like, comms dashboard to manage
CRM to manage.
The release of our newsletters and press releases and other forms of customer engagement and communication. Sure. All right. Where'd my mouse go? And then, all right, let's see. So it's generating the whole app. It's generating all of the fields, all of the pages, all of the tables that we're going to need for this right on the spot in less than 1 minute. So boom, here we go. We have our dashboard. So now we have our newsletters overview. So it shows us the title, the content summary, the main image for those newsletters, the author, the target audience, the communication channel, and the release schedule, customer engagements, and the press releases. We have our newsletter gallery here, the calendar of release for that newsletter, our press release overview here, customer engagement overview, and engagement ID, those customers, the way that we've engaged them, the feedback received from those customers, and the communication channel, the related newsletter, a Kanban project management flow for managing those customers, overview, the channel name. Oh, here's our podcast, our spotlight blog, our insights email, different forms of communication. Here's our communication dashboard and our release schedule Kanban. All in one shot. All of these are real tables, and we could even add more here. So we can add volunteer opportunities, event announcements. You could even add your own. So if there's a piece here that was missing, right? So let's see. Proposal writing, responding to vendors. Responding to RFP, you can add that. Okay, and then we say, boom, create this app. So now it's finalizing it. And then once it's done, it's worked into our Airtable workspace. And then it becomes something that we can then invite other team members to manage and populate and pull in. And what's great with Airtable is that you can connect it to other tools. So if you have a Slack, if you have a Teams, if you have, a HubSpot, you can pull all that in to this dashboard. And you see, these are all real pages. All of this is interactive. And then you can share it with your team right here by connecting it or adding channels and adding it to other folks. Just from an idea. So if you feel like there's a backlog of something that you're dealing with, you can throw it into Airtable if it manages pages, if there's workflow to manage, or if there's ideas or research, you can pull up Perplexity. If there's marketing content you need to create, you can do that through HeyGen. So now where's all this headed, right? So in the future focus is agency. So now I'm doing all this, you're doing all this. The agency is where there's not a bidirectional interaction with chatbots. You're assigning roles to a chatbot to do something on your behalf, right? So now if I want to give our AI, a responsibility and a job to do, then that's what I could do here. So I saw proposal writing was a big one. And managing a grant process. Let's see, creating policies and procedures. All right. So then what else do we have in here? We have, go back to the businesses. All right. So we have actionable.org. All right. So can you search and start a grant management dashboard for actionable.org? create a calendar with grant deadlines and start drafting initial proposals. I might be pushing it, but let's see. Let's see if this works. I don't even know if this is going to work. So you see now the running of the agent, right? You see everything now that's happening is no longer me. My hands are up here, right? So it's pulling up a browser. It's going to, now I'll click the address for and search actionable.org. It's searching the site. It's learning about the site. It's assigning itself its own tasks. All right, I notice. All right, what did it say? I notice Ashenola redirects to the Ashe Cultural Arts Center website. Let me explore the website to find information about grants and management. I'll first look for any links related to grant support, admin sections. Let me check out the about. So it's checking out the about, not me. It's doing all the work. And even if it hits a bump in the road, it's going to figure out and navigate it on its own. So now, all right, it's opening Excel. All right, that's promising. What are you doing with Excel? All right, let's take back a step. So everyone's asking, what is this? Okay. And I would recommend the following approach. Let's create a local grant management system. All right. Oh, look, I'm not typing. It's typing. I'm not writing. So this is called computer use. It is made by Anthropic. Those who know what Claude is, and Claude is a competitor to ChatGPT. So they kind of beat OpenAI with coming out with an agent to do all this on its own autonomously. And it took a half hour to an hour to set up on my computer. And once I did that, then it was off to the races, and now it's doing all this on its own. So now I can literally step away, go do something else for my business, and just come back and check on its work and to see how it's progressing, to see if it's getting stuck anywhere. And if it's getting stuck, I just scroll down to the bottom to its last step and see what stage in its process it's at. And if it's giving itself its own kind of instructions. Yep. So great. I've created a basic grant management spreadsheet with the following columns: grant name, funding organization, amount, deadline status. To create a calendar of grant deadlines, let me open the calendar app. I'll click on the calendar icon. Okay, that's smart. Grant management spreadsheet. Great. Would you like me to add some sample grant opportunities, create a proposal template document, search for specific grants? 3.
Hey, Abron, we have a question about the fee for this tool. And just to confirm, this is called computer use from Anthropic. Is that what you said?
Yes, computer use by Anthropic. So I did not pay out the gate for this tool. What I did do was I added credits to my Anthropic account to use their API. And now what's using this is my Anthropic developer API key. So really a lot of these things, even with ChatGPT, a lot of you might not realize there's tokens. There's almost like a data plan, right? So think of it as a data plan for AI. They're called your token rate and your token use. So a lot of these things are almost like pay as you go. So the more you use it, the more tokens that you're going to burn through when doing this. So if you're not going to do this all the time, the $100 that I put in my API key should be enough. But if I'm doing this on a daily basis, then I'm going to have to replenish it every so often with more API tokens and more credits.
Got it. And another attendee asked if this is an agent.
Yes, this is an agent. This is a live AI agent working on my behalf with an assignment that is completing that doesn't need me to write anything, prompt anything. Every once in a while, it might check back in for some instructions and some guidance, and the rest it's doing on its own. So it's what you're seeing happening right now on the screen. It's typing, not me. So I know we have other things that we want to cover, but I did want to kind of take you through several different steps, and we'll come back and check on computer use, see how it's doing. The only one that I didn't put on my list was computer use, but for the most part, everything else is covered on this list. So if you want to take a screenshot of this list, ChatGPT, I went through for ideation, Perplexity for research, 11 Labs is the voice that you heard from that AI avatar. HeyGen is the platform that I use to create that AI avatar. Runway is usually what I use to make AI video. Midjourney is what I use for the AI image. Udio is what I use for AI music, if I wanted to add a soundtrack to any of my marketing material. Zapier and Make are great for what they call like automation tasks. And Airtable was that project management workflow generator that I showed you. And then, of course, the last one was computer use by Anthropic. All of the costs for these are either pay as you go or freemium. Right. So I think today I just upped my my HeyGen plan from $29 a month to about $69 a month because I wanted to add team members. So, if you are doing this for you and your team and you want to establish accounts for 4 or 5 of you, I would expect to pay in the $100 to $200 a month. But if you're a solopreneur and you're just doing this for yourself, you're going to end up paying less than $100 a month. Anywhere from $30 a month to $60 a month per each of these platforms. And you should be, in a good spot to handle all this on your own.
Bron, this is clearly amazing. We've got so much engagement in the chat, and everyone's learning a lot from you. I think we have time for one question, and then we have to transition shortly to Michelle's presentation. I don't want to cut you short, though. Bernardo's on, and he's in construction and is asking if the agent can generate cost estimates if it's given the drawings and blueprints and specs.
Yeah, but then you're relying on its knowledge from what it's searching on the internet to gather those cost estimates, unless you're giving it, some guidelines and some parameters of what you've done with previous jobs. You could say, hey, here's how I've estimated past work. Here are my past costs, my historical costs for similar work. Come up with some calculations on your own, given that information. Otherwise, you're just relying on what it can find on the interwebs for similar work.
Thank you for that. And big applause. You're getting a lot of shout outs. This was great. Bron is the best. Everyone's like super jazzed. So thank you.
Professor.
Happy to help you.
Awesome. Thank you. And Michelle, I don't know where you and Bron connected, but we're so pleased that you did. And thank you for bringing him into the MasterCard fold. And please share with us all the exciting news on your front.
Yes. I'm so happy to talk about a product that we are working on with LeBron. And I am going to share my screen. All right, so with a little video. We think this video does a great job of describing what this product is intended to do. And then I will give a little bit of background on it, a little bit more, and then kind of take you through the benefits and then how you can sign up.
A mentor is a guide, a connector, an advisor. And for too many small business owners in America, a mentor is all too hard to find. So for creators, first-time entrepreneurs, shop owners in underserved communities, and established businesses looking to expand, MasterCard is using AI to create mentorship at scale. Introducing MasterCard Small Business AI, an innovative Gen AI tool built to embrace inclusivity and be a gateway and a guide to a world of resources designed to help bridge the gap between striving and thriving. It aggregates MasterCard's small business tools, solutions, and initiatives. It collects the wisdom and experiences of successful entrepreneurs. It's fueled by a groundbreaking partnership with diverse media publishers, delivering responsibly sourced content relevant to all small business. And it channels all these insights, all this innovation, into an intuitive, personalized chatbot that answers your questions and offers you guidance just like a mentor would to help you market your products, improve your cybersecurity, locate the best areas to open a new location, find grants you didn't know were out there, even join a community of real-world mentors. Because in small business, there is a direct connection between mentorship and success. And we want every small business to succeed. This is one more way we're connecting everyone to the priceless possibilities in life.
All right. So, what I want to talk about is why we got here. So, when you hear about Gen AI, you're like, this is great. It sounds great. They market it as this amazing thing, and it is great. But when it first launched, what we saw was it has the ability to be biased. And biased because the Gen AI is all about the data and what it is being fed. So when it first came out, we saw like Mid-Journey, which he showed you today. If you ask it like, what is a, handsome man, you would get a Caucasian man, or a beautiful woman, you would get, a Caucasian woman. And so we saw that there was this lack of diversity when this first existed. Now, I think along the way, they have started to get better. And we, by no means at MasterCard, look to figure out how to resolve bias in AI. That is a huge undertaking. But what we are is committed to small business. When you think of Strive and all the programs we have, we thought, why don't we focus there? And so when we looked at small businesses and looked at how can we help with this technology, what can we do in this space? And we thought about how we can make it more inclusive, and more inclusive by making the data set more equitable. We focused our data, this product, solely to help small businesses. And by doing that, we look to source the data responsibly, because some of the things with AI was that, they were scraping the web and taking data that may not be as quality and that they may not have the rights to. So we worked with a diverse set of media partners like Newsweek, Blavity, Group Black, Univision, and we're now working with Clara for Creators, because the creator economy is one of the biggest and booming economies. But one of the things that's already becoming prevalent is, pay inequity. And so we're now working with them to get some of that knowledge base to feed in here. And on top of sourcing that information, sourcing data from, government entities like small SBDC, MasterCard, we have 36 websites dedicated to small business, whether that's services, products, and solutions that can really help you on your journey. So we took all of that, and we took the Media Coalition, and then we took experienced entrepreneurs' experiences, as well as our own ambassadors. So MasterCard, we sponsor a lot of ambassadors, but they also are business owners, and they have great advice too. And we brought all of that together, working with our partners, Create Lab, to develop this thing we call Small Business AI. What was so exciting and great for us is that Create Labs really understood this space and understood the complexity and had built their own DEI GPT. So for our goal to make it more inclusive, they knew and could help us build out a strategy to really focus on how we can take the data, make it more representative of all business owners, of diverse business owners that have their own challenges. How do we bring in intelligence for that, as well as all other business owners, and really bringing that into this, as part of the SBDC, Dr. Jackie, who talks to businesses all the time. And, she says sometimes they don't know how to ask the question. They don't know how to, get the help that they need. So we used the technology in a way to craft that, to make it more dialogue, to be able to help them get to the answer that they need. And it's really exciting for us. But while we're looking to make it more inclusive, we also want to make sure and vet with partners. We're working with Howard University in different ways. They have students that are testing the AI for us. They also have a entrepreneur college on campus. So we have real entrepreneurs coming from there also testing it. And then they have their own AI engineers who build AI, who is looking at, our strategy for how we built this and to help us understand if it's sound, what are other opportunities we can do. Because Abron and his team really is on a cutting edge of how they are doing prompt engineering and helping us to develop this really unique experience and tool. So we're super excited. We really think this is going to be a great product that can help small businesses. So whether you're starting a business, growing a business, trying to sustain your business, or just ideating, we really put into this tool a way that can really help. Because, I didn't bring in the stats, but while there are so many, small businesses in the US, we do look at, small businesses start to drop off after 2 and 3 years. And while funding can be a reason, there are other reasons, because we do understand that a lot of small businesses could be one-man shops. And that's where tools like AI can really help. And that's why we really dedicated and really focused in on how we can make this super helpful. Okay, I'm going to the next one. Okay, so small business AI. So want to just kind of highlight where we think it's really going to be helpful, where it's going to be different than some of the tools Abron has talked about. So what's key in using Gen AI is how you ask it questions so that it can give you the right response. And I don't know if you heard, but sometimes they feel like you have to be a prompt engineer. Well, we worked with our team, so we kind of built in the prompting. So you don't really have to know exactly what to ask. It's going to help you get to that question. So that barrier of knowing how to ask the question of AI, we really built it in a way where you don't have to be that way. If you're just getting started in business and you don't know what to ask, where to start, you don't have to have that background. Again, that is where we are having it kind of work with you, ask you about your ideas. It can help you come up with business names, like really leveraging the power of the AI, but also helping you as you ask the question so it can give you the answer. We work with real life entrepreneurs, like I said, which is great. So what we bring in unique that you can't get from an open AI is real advice from real entrepreneurs that we can quote, whether that's our sponsorship or our entrepreneur network. And then last, but not least, is this tailored content. This is unique. We curated it. It's ours, but it really is meant to give you this different experience that will help you. You can pace yourself and you will find it is so simple. While I am trying to get to my webpage, are there any questions?
There were a couple of questions in the chat, Michelle. Maria's asking if we intend to make any of this available in language in Spanish. I think she mentioned that she's training some small businesses in Spanish.
Yes, that is our goal. This initial pilot, because we are going to have a pilot, actually, let me see if I can share my full screen. It's kind of difficult going between pages. Let me try one more thing. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So in this first iterative stage, we want to understand if what we built is helpful, take learnings from you guys, continue to iterate, and have a really powerful tool. So when we launch, we are looking to launch next month. It is US based and it is going to be primarily in English. But Abron, correct me if I'm wrong, if someone asks a question in another language, it will respond.
It should pull from the defaults of 4.0. I'd have to check with Matt to see if we told it not to. I don't imagine that we would have. Yeah. I think with some languages we might not want to.
Exactly.
go down that rabbit hole unless we have the right training and the right experts on there.
Which is the next phase that we want to
Yeah.
focus on.
Yeah, for instance, we're doing another project for a mayor in Portugal, and sometimes the Portuguese gets outputted as Brazilian Portuguese. So we're constantly having to like refine that just to make sure that it's like culturally accurate too, and not just a default language.
Yeah. So in our first phase, it is trained on English and some Spanish because we did get content from Univision that
Yeah,
was
Univision content. Yep.
So it can, but it wasn't our core focus. And in our next phase, when we're going into modalities of voice and language, that's where we will make sure it's super sharp. But today, it should be able to interact in different languages. Okay, can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So this is what it looks like. And after accepting terms of use, if you don't know where to start, we have 4 different cards of different journeys. And if you click on it, it would start asking questions about the starting the business phase to get you started or sustaining. In my example, had started with, I wanted to start a food truck business. It's like, great, what stage are you in? Is there anything specific? And it wants to understand location. It's important to share with it location because we have curated certain things that are location-based, state-based. It might be a grant or something. So it's important to share, location and give it information. The more information you give it, not proprietary information, but general information about your business, the better it is that it can respond and give you a good answer. So I said I want it to be in Brooklyn, New York. And it was like, great. It wants to confirm that that's what I'm looking to do. And then it starts giving me things about starting a business. Do you want to learn about permits, marketing, or funding? And I'm like, I want to understand about permits. And then it starts to give me more information about understanding local regulation, health and safety compliance, location and scheduling strategy. And so it can keep going and it'll keep going with you. It's like, do you want more guidance or any of these steps? And I can be like, yes, I want to understand more about safety and compliance. And it really is a back and forth dialogue to really help you and get you to the answer or the support you may need. I did an example the other day of starting a business, help getting some ideas for the business name, getting some ideas for like marketing help. And it's telling me to go create social sites, telling me what hashtags I should use when I'm trying to drive business. It is really a helpful assistant coach. And can help you in different ways. I want to preface that this is just text-based. It's not images. It's not going to generate images. It is about education. It is about providing resources. So whether that's MasterCard resources, the educational resources that we got from our media partners and entrepreneur base, that's what it's about. Any questions?
I think there was a question about what the actual name of the program. Are we calling this Small Business AI, Small Business AI Mentor?
Officially Small Business AI. That is a brand name that they curated and feel strongly. It is going to be called Small Business AI. If you saw, I have had a QR code. So you can come here because we're looking to launch next month and you can sign up. And once it's available, you can get access. It is a free tool. So that's the other thing. It is free with all of our current base level information. It may change in the future as we figure out and build out more features and functions. But as of right now, all the things I talked about and the different ways that it can assist you will be free when we launch.
Folks are loving that. Fantastic. So when we send out an email with all of the links that have been shared that Abron demoed, we will also share the link to sign up.
Yes.
Can we share it in the chat, Michelle?
Yeah.
Do you have?
I can do it right now.
Great.
Please, we really want this to be helpful. We welcome feedback. And so it will be great for you guys to sign up.
And Maria is offering to help test it with Spanish-speaking small businesses. So we can
love
follow
that.
up.
Yeah. Any other questions? So I think, there's a lot of promise for AI. There's a lot that it can help you with. You have to know that AI can't just do things by itself. So with all of the tools that Abron has shared, it takes a level of interaction. It takes a level of you engaging and giving it information so it can then respond back to you. Just know from a MasterCard perspective, we took a lot of care in, making sure that it doesn't respond, from a bias standpoint, that it's responding with relevant information and it's just for small business information, nothing else. So, when you get access, you can't ask it about the weather because it's not trained for that. It is trained for your needs. It's trained to support you. It's trained to give you all the tools and things that we hope will be helpful to you. We brought it together.
Fantastic. E. Jones is asking, when are we able to start using it?
December. December. That is our target. Sign up on the list and we will get it out to you.
So I have to say, guys, we do this, we try to do a session like this about once a month. We are going to be doubling down on this topic in particular in 2025. I've never seen this level of stickiness with such a large group. We've still got over 65 people on this call and we're a few minutes over time. Oh. So this is your last chance. If anyone else has other questions for Michelle and Abron, we want to make sure we get them answered while we have you and while we have them. We're so fortunate. They're so busy getting this tool out. And thank you both again for making the time to speak to our businesses across the country.
Yeah, I think, Colleen, thank you for giving us this opportunity to share. And, Colleen, I think you said it earlier, for us, we build with purpose. We want you guys to do well. We do well by doing good. And we built this specifically for you.
So I saw one, what is the best AI app for graphics?
Ron?
Yeah, I'm still a Midjourney fan, but now you can train your own image model with, it's called Flux, Flux. Now you can upload a bunch of your own images and train your own model. We're going to put one out this year too. We partnered with a Black-founded stock photo company, and they're giving us all 14,000 of their images to train our own image generator.
That's awesome.
And making sure that it's, diverse and inclusive. So we're excited for that.
Mika's asking, what was the Runway ML for again, please?
Video. So a Runway can really, anything that's creative. So can generate images, but also can make video from AI.
Cool. And in case you guys didn't see, we'll include this in the email too, but Abron is so much more to get our stuff up online, but he sent a link to his deck. So on Canva. So that's in the chat as well. I don't see any other questions, so I think we're going to call it a wrap. And thank you all again. And we look forward to hearing your feedback as the tool becomes available and learning more together in 2025.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everyone.
Have fun, y'all, and good luck.
Bye.